You've been one of the people who's really singled it out, that we've got a shift going on here that's unprecedented in U.S. history and can only be described as authoritarian.
Yeah, I think, again, when you're flooding the zone, or when the zone is being flooded, it's hard to figure out what's truly kind of a passing story and what's strategic. And to me, the domestic terrorism executive order from September, where the president laid out that he's asked the Department of Justice to identify domestic terrorist organizations with these broad characteristics, and the fact that he's not telling us what domestic terrorist organizations are being targeted, right? Who are the named groups? Who are these alleged bad guys? To me, should send the shiver down the spine of any American, because if it's not your group today, it will easily be your group tomorrow. And then the use of the uniformed military in our cities, again, completely counter to our values as Americans, where we literally exist as a country because an occupying military power abused American citizens, and we rose up against that, and then devised a system of laws meant to only use uniformed militaries in extreme cases. I mean, not what's going on in these cities. But the president thinks he looks like a big guy. He looks tough when he puts these uniformed military folks, who I think many of them do not want those missions. They do not want to be there, but puts them out in our American cities. He's looking for an excuse and a pretext to say that there's, chaos, so that he can double down and bring even more military into these cities. So I think, to me, again, in the specter of all the things that the president has done, the use of the uniformed military inside the United States and his flirting with invoking the Insurrection Act of 1807, which is wonky, but gives the ability for these uniformed military to, as police, to conduct raids, to arrest, to detain. And by the way, our military is not trained for that. They're trained to protect us against external threats. That, to me, is where we start to slip into something that doesn't even look and smell like the United States that we all believe in. And the good news is, I think a lot of Americans look at those images and they say, that's not us. I don't like the way that feels and looks, and that's a good thing. But man, I mean, I think it has been part of the playbook of this administration to create that pretext, put in the military, use them in law enforcement roles potentially, suspend habeas corpus, declare martial law. I wish these things were out of just like a history book from another country. But if at this point, we can't have a failure of imagination. We have to accept that they're on this path because they've shown nothing but a willingness to use that authoritarian playbook that we've seen so many times abroad.